Well, it's Friday once again, and you know what that means. Trish Rout with Southwest Florida Crime Stoppers. Well, she joins us here in studio, telling us who we need to be on the lookout for this week.
Absolutely. And we're starting off our list this week with a Cape Coral fugitive who went to some extreme measures to keep from being charged with a baggie of fentanyl. Officers pulled Juan Falcone over for a traffic stop after watching him swerve across lanes and drive dangerously. They noted that he was unusually nervous and skittish and couldn't provide a driver's license. When they asked him to step out of the car, Falcone clung to a baggie in his hand, refusing to let it go. Despite multiple orders, Falcone would not hand the substance over, and while being handcuffed, he managed to put the baggie in his mouth and swallow it. He admitted to officers that it was fentanyl, which can be an extremely lethal drug, thus sending him straight to the hospital. Falcone was subsequently charged with tampering with evidence and resisting, eventually pleading guilty and being sentenced to 24 months of probation. He violated those terms last week when he went back to his drug of choice and tested positive for fentanyl in the system again. Falcone has a dozen priors on his record on charges of fraud, theft, and multiple drug infractions. He is 5'9", 145 pounds, and upon his arrest, Falcone will be held without bond. Next up is a woman who took an obsession with her ex just a little too far. A new warrant for the arrest of Alishauri Miller was issued earlier this week after she violated probation following an arrest for aggravated assault with a deadly weapon and battery. The victim said Miller showed up at the gym where she goes to and started a confrontation in the parking lot. The two have had a dicey relationship in the past, with Miller allegedly showing up with a gun at the victim's house a few days prior, then leaving angered when the woman wouldn't open up the door. During this incident, the victim immediately tried to de-escalate the situation by walking away. However, Miller followed in close pursuit with a gun pointed right at her and struck her in the head. Miller then fled the scene but was located and arrested a few days later. The 29-year-old pled guilty and was placed on 36 months of state probation, which she violated last week. Miller has 3 priors for assault, drugs, and the sale and delivery of marijuana. She is 5'7", 230 pounds, with a tattoo of the Statue of Liberty and the Chosen One inked on her left arm, and Loyalty Before Royalty written on her right arm. Also on the run this week is a young man who has been committing felony crimes in Southwest Florida since he was just 13 years old. Jermaine Neal now finds himself as a wanted man once again, this time for failing to show back up in court after being busted for cocaine and the possession of a weapon by a convicted felon. Neal's latest legal trouble started when he was a passenger in a car pulled over for a traffic stop recently. When police were overwhelmed by the scent of pot in the car, they questioned the driver and Neal a bit further. That's when they located a decent amount of weed and coke on Neal, as well as a Glock firearm with 2 loaded magazines, which, as a convicted felon, he is definitely not permitted to have. When officers asked if Neal was a felon, he said no, despite the fact that he had just finished a 3-year stint in prison a few months prior. To date, this 28-year-old has had more than 30 run-ins with law enforcement over the years for crimes that include grand theft auto, burglary, drugs, racketeering, and robbery, among many others. He is 5'7", 150 pounds, with 2 teardrops and a cross tattooed on his face. Neal is known to employ the names of Matthew Gutierrez or Black Leonard in order to avoid arrest. And last on our list this final Friday of June is a woman who has a history of drugs, theft, and some other shady behavior in both Lee and Collier counties. Deputies are asking you to keep your eyes peeled for Brooke Rodriguez, wanted in Naples for violating terms of her state probation on the charge of possession of a controlled substance. This 39-year-old fugitive has racked up 20 arrests so far from Cape Coral to Golden Gate City on charges of the possession of meth and other drugs, grand theft auto, assault, resisting, battery, theft, the illegal use of credit cards, organized dealing in stolen property, and disorderly intoxication. Detectives think she's likely laying low in Collier, where she's been known to work as a waitress, a bartender, and a stripper. She is 5'4", 150 pounds, and upon her arrest, Rodriguez will be held without bond in the Collier County Jail. And as always, if you recognize any of the fugitives we featured here today, you're asked to call the Crime Stoppers hotline. That number is 1-800-780-TIPS. All callers will remain anonymous and will be eligible for a cash reward of up to $3,000. Nice way to put some cash in your pockets and do the right thing for all of us in our community and get these guys and gals off the street.
Certainly, and you never know where you might notice one of those people or run into them. So
could be your neighbor, could be the guy down the street that you see all the time.
Certainly. Thank you so much, Trish.
Thanks, guys.
Well, crews race again.